best conference of them all? Question mark? Question mark? Let's take a quick look at the futures odds. We got Oklahoma State and West Virginia, the 13 and 14 seeds. They're at 1,000 to 1. Sean, UCF, the 12 seed. They were frisky at home from time to time. Even had a nice road win in conference, 500 to 1. Wow. Kansas State, excuse me, the 10 seed is 300 to 1. Cincinnati, the 11 seed, 200 to 1. Oklahoma, the 9 seed, 100 to 1. TCU, interesting, 8 seed, 65 to 1. Texas, the Longhorns, horns down, 30 to 1. Texas Tech, the 4 seed, all the way down here at 20 to 1. BYU, the 5 seed, 25 to 1. Kansas, the 6 seed, 12 to 1. Baylor, the 3 seed, 8 to 1. Iowa State, the 2 seed at plus 280. And Houston, newcomers to the conference, favorites to win the conference tournament, minus 135. They've certainly, I mean, the way they whooped Kansas's ass.
Oh man, that was a great lock.
I mean, Colby, what was the nugget? It was the first time Kansas had been beaten by 30 points in the Big 12 in 20 plus years.
Yeah, and the first time they've been held under 50 points, I think, in like 25
My
years.
God.
Yeah.
How embarrassing! I mean, that's
what happens when you put an AAC team in the Big 12. If they gave East Carolina the call, hate to fucking tell you this, East Carolina would come in there and fuck these little pussy schools up. Let's go.
The Big 12 conference tournament is being played in the beautiful city of Kansas City, which, of course, Sean, we learned cures hangovers. The water, at least, does. So I mean, yeah, I think. Oh, and also worth noting, they do a double bye system. So top 4 teams essentially have buys into the quarterfinals. Next 4 essentially ish. It's actually next 6 teams have a bye, and then you have 2 playing games. So you see the staggered odds. That's essentially how many games are you playing. The only real outlier in that regard is probably TCU. TCU kind of sticking out like a sore thumb there in the odds. What are you doing in this one, Colby? You taking the chalk in Houston?
Not at all. I think you have to take the south side of the bracket.
No.
Because Houston lost to TCU, and that could be their first opponent. I kind of think it will be their first opponent since TCU just lost to UCF. That's a scary game for them. And then that the south side, I think you see opportunity because Iowa State's, even though they're improved, they just lost to Kansas State. So if Kansas State beats Texas, now granted Texas is super fucking talented. So I mean, if you were doing this just on roster, I think there's incredible value on Texas and Kansas. Incredible value on Texas and Kansas. But and I actually think, the more that I think about it, I think we should probably give me the Jayhawks. Give me the Jayhawks. Whoa. Because they have that crowd. It's in Kansas City.
Yeah,
that is true.
Kansas City's in Missouri, for what it's worth.
Still, they're half the fucking Missouri is fucking Kansas fans, and there's a Kansas City in both. Just so you know,
it's true. Right? They're border towns.
I'm taking.
I think you got to go Jayhawks. What's that?
I'm going Baylor and Texas. Ooh. Baylor and Texas. I see the case for the Jayhawks. The fact that they're 12 to 1 certainly makes them intriguing, but they do have to play an extra game at least compared to Baylor. I've liked this Baylor team all year. I think they're pretty good. And then Texas, I mean, Texas has the offense. You know, you look at their number 1 in effective field goal percentage in the conference, and I think they can hang with anyone. And same thing with Baylor. Baylor number 1 in offensive efficiency. Like, I think the formula, you almost have to outscore a Houston team that's going to be a tough out. So I like 2 darts here at some longer shot.
I don't mind the Texas play or the Kansas State play from the 7-10. Kansas State just beat Iowa State this past weekend.
Kansas State's 300 to 1. That's
you're
crazy. Reading
my notes, Colby. This is the Big 12. You gotta play some funny stuff in this one.
The Kansas one though is free money, guys. They are gonna have the crowd. They beat Baylor in the fog. Well, this is gonna be the closest thing to the fog. All right. And then the fact they don't play Houston to the championship, Houston has to go through teams that beat them.
All right, Colby's convincing me to take Kansas. So I got Kansas at 12 to 1, Texas at 30 to 1. What else are you doing, Ryan? Are you doing some? Do we play
Give me Kansas State 300 to 1?
Jesus.
Texas 30-1.
Okay.
I'm playing both sides of that one. I'm also going to play TCU 65-1. I think to Colby's point, there's a possibility there. And then, the more that I think about this, Houston, I mean, if I was involved in if I was a fan of Houston, I would want them to lose.
Yeah, it doesn't really help them with their seeding.
I don't know if this is the kind of chalk you take. So I like the way that Colby's talking about Kansas. So add them into my portfolio.
Well, another thing is like, do you remember
real quick? Now what I've effectively done, if TCU, I got Kansas State and Texas, who are one of them is going to play Iowa State. I also got Kansas, and then on the top I got TCU. I'm loaded. I'm loading the Big 12, and I got long shots. I like this. All right, sorry. What were you saying, Colby?
Well, I was going to say like the Dickinson injury thing could be when he got injured. I want to say last year at Michigan, they actually had a better record, I think, without him, if memory serves me correct. That could be a blessing in disguise in a way, considering how talented we know Kansas is. I think you got to sprinkle Kansas. I think to me, I'll take some action on TCU because they beat Houston before. They are a team that is on the bubble. They have to win.
Yeah. We've been teeing this up all year, Sean. Ever since we watched them get lucky against Baylor.
I'll take a third. I'll take a third on the Texas Longhorns, as disgusting as it is.
Oh my God, TCU and Texas.
They're the most paid roster.
Disgusting act.
They got guys. I don't understand how they're this fucking bad.
Matthew McConaughey on the bongos. Freaky deaky, man. The Longhorns gonna ride.
The Minister of Culture.
Horns up. Hook 'em horns.
Horns down. All right.
It's so fun to do that. But so Colby and I both, you guys talked me into TCU and Kansas. So, which I kind of was going Kansas Baylor. Colby bringing up the home court thing won me over. So,
say it
well, that's why
proudly.
K-State makes sense. Part of me is like, fuck, are we fucking up not taking K-State? But Texas is so talented.
I'm on K-State.
I know. I was talking to Sean.
But Sean,
we don't need any.
It's a 0. Think about that. It's a 300-1. Like, just all right.
I'll put it in.
I'm not having to worry about the outcome. We want to fade Iowa State the next round. That's the point. And then it builds our position against Kansas, whose path at that point should be paved. So we have two teams in the semifinal, just like I do in the Horizon League.
Beanick, was it 2 years ago that Dickinson got hurt? One of the years I feel like Dickinson missed like a week, but they played better. Maybe
let's
I'm
go direct.
crazy.
Let's go direct to our dick expert. He's got his pulse on the dick. On the was it the cock or the dick? I forgot.
I want a dick rubbed on me tonight.
I think it was a
Brian, we're trying to talk Big 12.
I thought he had his pulse. It was the pulse of a throbbing dick. Okay. First round. Let's
go.
So
wait, Colby, are you in on Kansas State?
No, let's just stick with what we have.
All right.
TCU, Texas, Kansas.
All right. I'm deleting Kansas State. So I'm sticking with what Colby and I have. If remember, you can get the sheet on Patreon. If any of this was unclear, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon.
You die with that Benedict motherfucker.